Ooh, greetings. Greetings all. Happy Sunday. Happy day whenever it is that you view this message. I am Divine Sunflower. Lover of shrimp, the sun, flowers, pretty things, yellow. How are y'all? As I record this, it is 7:38 a.m. and I am alive, awake, aware, and full of life. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. The sun's in my face. I love it. I like it like that. And so I just kept hearing cornbread. Like, who wants cornbread at 5 in the morning? I'm sleepy. And I just started hearing other things and all this like cornmeal stuff. And I'm like, who is hungry? And I heard, let's see. So I started with cornmeal. No, cornbread. Cornbread. Then I heard hot water cornbread. I said, oh, Big Mama's trying to tell me something. Yes. And then I heard, and now you gotta figure out how to make it. So I go to YouTube. So I was doing homework, looking into this hot water cornbread. Shout out to all my chefers, all my bakers, everybody with Southern roots. I'm born in New York, Puerto Rican heritage. But I know that somewhere down the lineage, I too got a Big Mama. And if I don't directly, well then I adopted somebody's Big Mama, because Big Mama be talking to me. Yes, ma'am. I don't eat collard greens anymore. And I wasn't raised on collard greens, but there was a chunk of my life that one day I OD'd on collard greens. I was bloated for like a whole week. I just can't break them down, right? So I ate a whole pot of collard greens by myself in a span of about 4 days. It wasn't the best idea. Damn, you see now what's the collard greens? You know what? I think it's time to bring the collard greens back. Yeah, but for me, like Brussels sprouts. Didn't grow up eating Brussels sprouts. Why am I talking about vegetables? Because Spirit has me talking about vegetables. We're going to get to it. We are going to get to it. So, yeah, eventually I had Brussels sprouts. Wasn't ever a big fan of cabbage. Now I like these things, but Brussels sprouts don't agree with me. I can handle a little cabbage every once in a while, especially like when I crave it. But nah, I just really can't. So I stay away from that. I lean more towards kale and spinach. Whoa, little kitty cat, you're gonna burn yourself. It is not safe up here. Is your butt in the camera? Because that would be very rude. No, your butt's not in the camera. No. There's fire here. Go. Whew. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. I'm Divine Sunflower. That is Bissette. She's Little Hot Mess Express. She wants to do everything. She's always gonna pop up in the camera because she's a star. An annoying little baby, cute little star. But I love her. And she was gifted to me from the universe. And so while she gets on my nerves, I won't complain. She's my bodyguard. And so, yes, shout out to the 2 new subscribers that I gained while I was sleeping. Yes. And can I confess, y'all? Y'all are part of my manifestation. How, do you ask? Well, I pulled out the calendar and I did some mathematics. I ain't forget about the cornbread and greens though, all over the place. But I said, all right, to be monetized, right? You need 1,000 subscribers. Today, at this moment in time, I have a strong 139 subscribers. And I am grateful. And while the road to 1,000 seems so far away, Spirit said, not really. You'll get there. And so today, on this day, it's March 24th. Let's see, 23. What day are? Yes. All right. So here we go. Manifesting out loud in your face. On this day, March 23rd, 2025, I am manifesting that by the end of 2025 or before, that we will get this YouTube channel, Divine Sunflower, to the 1,000 subscribers or more in order to be monetized. And so Spirit had told me, but don't worry about that. Just keep doing the messages, and come up with another achievable goal, right? Because we got to be realistic. Little delusional, but realistic. And so I said, okay, boom, my birthday, yay. My birthday's in September. And so the next tier would be, before you get to the 1,000, is 500, right? Once I get to 500, can start membership channel or membership tab, right? Where we can do cool things in the background. So I got time, because I'm like, I don't even know what I would offer. But Spirit said, you got things to offer and you're creative. You'll figure it out. You got time. So the balls are rolling in the brain and I'm thinking about it. And if there's something that y'all would like to see once we get to that goal, because we are together, we are one, we go together. Like, y'all, this is the honey tribe where we don't chase, we attract. Yes. And so that is the goal. So second manifestation, the first one to come, we're going to get to 500 by September 2025 or more or before. The numbers are going to keep coming up. And so the simple math broke down that I need 2 subscribers a day. Just 2 subscribers a day will feed Divine Sunflower. Are you not entertained? Listen, like, I can't help it. I be funny by mistake, accidentally. It just flows, right? And so, yeah. So, y'all 2 were my 2 of the day while I was asleep. Because I added that into my manifestation. You got to be real specific. Because I manifested my last job, right? The construction job. I used to travel far to go to work. I said, I want a job in the city. And I didn't have the full confidence that I have now. And I kept hearing, be more specific. It's like, I want a job in the city so that I don't have to pay for the MTA. And so I don't have to pay for the Metro North. Because, ooh, child, that was 2 different bills to get to work to make a little bit of money. And then I did the math. And I'm like, I need to save $500 a month to start my business, to go into my business pile. Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this, because Spirit is guiding me. It's giving a lot of math. Shout out to the numbers people. But you know, I start doing like my little baby math, because I could do baby math. And then you got a calculator and Google, because yeah, baby math is my speed. So I'm like, all right, 500 to the man. I need to work in a city. I need whatever, because I was given the Metro North about 500 a month. Yeah, it was horrible. Or no, like anyway, I was spending. I think in total, I was spending about 500 a month to travel, and that forced me. Oh, I see where we going. That forced me to have to work 6 days a week. I had to. I had to work Saturdays just to pay to get on the Metro North. And that was with the discount from the Panorama. When the job was coming to an end, there was a notification that in the next whatever month, by the next month, the prices was going to go back up to regular, which means it was going to cost me even more. Ooh, child. And I prayed harder and more specific. And I said, okay, I need a job. Please help me get a construction job in the city. More specific. Okay, help me get a job, not in the boroughs, but in Manhattan. No, more specific. I live in Harlem. Help me to get a job in Harlem. I want to work in Harlem. I want to work not too far from where I live. And then I heard they were going to be doing renovation where I lived. And for about, from that point, let's say altogether it was 6 months, but then when that point was like 3 months, I want to work where I live. I want to work where I live. I want to work where I live. And then I don't even have to pay, not even MTA, because all I got to do is come down the stairs, and all that money I'll save. What you think happened? I'm Divine Sunflower, baby. I got what I wanted. But it didn't happen overnight. And I had to have the audacity, the cojones, the confidence, la confianza to be specific, to ask with my whole heart what I wanted, and believe that I was worthy of it and that it was possible. Sunday sermon is over. Because that was a word, baby. Thank you, Spirit. And I heard, now let's get back to the cornbread. And I see, y'all might not see it. I see it. I see it in my mind's eye, the connection between the manifestation and the construction and the cornbread, because it all goes back to money. You see, I had heard about hot water cornbread. It's a southern thing. They say it's a poor people thing, because what I learned today, and I didn't know before, I mean, obviously I'm like, okay, they use hot water. It must be a different technique, right? Yeah, it's a different technique. Hot water cornbread don't use no eggs and no milk, because if the budget was tight and you had the eggs and the milk, you had to make this somehow, some way. And I now understand that. But guess what? Stuffing and oxtails used to be poor people food. Now the oxtails is like skyrocket. Now there's word on the streets that Oxtails ain't really ox. They might be kangaroo, but I don't know. I just heard. Gotta fact check that. And I haven't looked into it because I don't eat that anyway. So it doesn't matter to me. Ox, kangaroo, whatever. I'm, I'm, I'm gonna sip to that. And I'm hearing, yes, Big Mama's in the building. She said, resiliency, working with what you have and making a mighty fine plate. Woo! And it's crazy, not crazy. It's that, you know, some people, we are very divisive, but then I also heard that's that Willie Lynch syndrome, that we so different, the light versus the dark, the this versus, right, house versus field, and it's all about perspective, right? Because I've heard people argue. Listen, the whole shit was sucky. It was whack. It was preposterous. Like, how you gonna take a whole human being and do the things that were done? And so everyone suffered. And if you were in the house, you weren't in the sun. But Massa stayed touching you in places you didn't want to be touched. And so it's all perspective and it's all relative. I keep hearing that I gotta do a series of story times of my trip to Africa. That I have to document my experience while it's still fresh in my head. And it's April makes a year. April's around the corner. Mid-April I went. But I don't think I'll ever forget the experience. And so that is a series that I will start in April. My story time, my African trip, my healing journey to the motherland. And while I was there, I saw some things, and I'll hold it, but I just, wow. And what I will say is that in my spiritual journey, in my spiritual development, that I wasn't really aware was happening. Oh, but it was happening. I just didn't know just yet, because I wasn't fully awakened to this level. And this level changes every day. But I had visions. I had crazy dreams. I said, what is happening? And my whole world changed when I came back. 2024 was a beautiful year, most impactful year in my spiritual journey. And because we're in different places in our life, I know that there are some people watching that said, yeah, I remember. And there's other people that are like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And it's okay. And it's okay, because we're all on our journey. But it's a beautiful thing. And even then, I was told, start writing things down. Journal, journal, journal. Spirit even told me that I was gonna make movies. There's so much happening. There's so much that I'm working on that I'm not even thinking about making movies. But I know that it is in my destiny to make a movie. Y'all invited to the private party, you heard? And so, work with what you have. Celebrate your gifts and your talents. Keep doing you humbly and proud because somebody's watching. Somebody will take notice. And that little thing that you're doing is going to be big. I'm not totally hip on all of the what's the word? Pop culture, right? But I pick up bits and pieces. And then some of it just makes my brain go like I don't want to lose brain cells, but I'll entertain a little bit of something. And so scrolling, looking for stuff, excuse me, and I see a story about a girl named, I believe her name was Titi, and she was getting bullied. So it was Kai Sanan. I know I don't exactly know what he do, but he do like something, I guess he has a podcast or whatever. And then DDG, that's right, Chloe Baby Daddy. He was there. No, not Chloe, the other one. Holly. So yeah, so I know, but I don't know. Don't judge me. But it's all good, right? Because the point is, it was a girl named Brooklyn. I don't know who she is. And then the other chick who not allegedly, she's Kai Sanat's girlfriend. But it's just like the person kept referring to, I'm like, damn, they don't even know your name, sis. Like, how relevant are you if they got to keep referring you? And I don't know if the person was being shady because I don't know. And I'm not trying to add to the shady mess. But the point is that God is allowing her to eat in front of her fake friends. Remember, if y'all been here for a while, when I kept saying la madamas, right? We're saying be careful, be aware of your fake little friends, the big mamas, right? I'm a get back to la madamas, big mamas, right? And so, is it Angel Reese, a WNBA player, asked her, this girl TT, to customize an outfit for her. The same outfit that I guess some random donkey of a man decided, like, how you picking on somebody, sir, boy, you know? And these are her friends, but he told her like something like, your outfit's ugly or you look stupid or something, right? And they started laughing. Nah, we ride out at dawn. Never. I remember going home. We like 42nd Street, me and a soror of mine. And she was a hot girl. I'm sure she's still a hot girl. And she got a lot of attention, right? And she had a nice figure, right? She had a derriere. She had a donkey of a derriere that got a lot of attention. And, I'm pretty. But I guess I've always been the chunky friend, right? And I've been different sizes. But I've always been the bigger one of my friends for the most part. And then I wasn't. But I was still on the bigger side, right? And so these two guys, they're all like in her face and ignoring me like I was chicken liver. But I didn't care because I didn't want them to know it. Like, and so they're all in her face, and she was known to be snobby. And when she rejected them in her snobby way, which I thought she was definitely a mean girl, right? She was definitely a mean girl. Um, but everybody, right, to each his own. So she rejected them in a mean girl, snobby girl, bougie girl kind of way. And then they tried to break her down and now turn their attention to me. Well, first of all, that's disrespectful to me because what, you thought I was chopped liver? That I'm going to take her seconds? No. If you thought I was that beautiful and you were interested in me, you would have hollered at me first. Like, no, we're not doing that. And you think that I'm going to talk to you after you disrespected her? Now we together. We are one. No. And I let him know that. And I checked him in my way. I told him he was rude and he was disrespectful. But you also try to play me, and now, no, 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 no. You don't get to ignore me to circle the block because she said no to you. No, we don't do that. And her friends, they should have stood up for her. Yo, that's our friend. But you know what? They weren't really her friends. 27 minutes in, I haven't even picked a card because Spirit said, nah, you're going to drop knowledge today. Let that sink in. Do your friends celebrate your accomplishments? Do your friends support your endeavors, or do they look down at it and say, oh, that little business that you're working on? You mean my little business? We all got to start somewhere. Now Shorty got a whole WNBA player who got big money, more money than your average person. And sure, somebody got bigger money, but she got more money than she got. And she's going to give her some of that money for her talents, for her goods, for her product, for her merchandise. And now these two are trying to apologize on an apology tour because the world done saw. Now they feel bad, a little embarrassed. And so I pray that that girl TT get all the sales. And more money and more money and more money and more. I hope she gets sponsorship deals. And I don't even know her, but I'm pouring positivity into the universe for that girl. Because her fake little friends bullied her. They weren't really her friends. They probably been laughing at her the whole time. Be unique, the card said. I pulled some cards earlier. Be unique. No, it was I edited a video. I did a short from yesterday. Check it out. Be unique. Embrace your light. Embrace your talents. Don't worry about them other people. Yours is coming. Hold on. All right. I was just asking, should I pull a card? They said no. About to wrap up. It's 30 minutes, but I got cards. I do got a message. I do. But Spirit said, no, we gonna talk today. Because I done told y'all, and this is for my madamas, libations. I told you I don't need the cards for Spirit to communicate with me. I am Divine Sunflower. I appreciate you. I hope that this message finds its way to you and that it helps you and gives you clarity. Keep doing you. Don't worry about the naysayers. And low key, F it, high key, your friends that say things like that, they haters. Assess it. Right? It could just be that they want to do something, but they don't have the to do it. So they kind of keep you down so you don't grow because they love you, but not enough to see you fly. Who needs that? I heard Willie Lynch syndrome. There was one more point. So, you have different spiritual courts, spiritual guides, right? I was going to say entities, however you receive it. And so La Madama, you often see her with the cigar and the head wrap, look a little kind of like me, usually darker, right? Um, so you'll see her like in Havana, Cuba, right? The cigar, maybe a flower in her hair. So La Madama is really not just one, it's many. And it depends on the time period, right? Some Madamas were born in Africa. They were the witch doctors, the herbalists, the what's the word? They did midwives, they delivered babies, they were healers, right? They were seers. They had these gifts. So now you have the transatlantic slave trade. You have some Madamas were born here in the Americas. Some Madamas were slaves. So you got that time period. They were in the house cooking and cleaning. So they're well versed in the same things, the herbs, the medicine, the poisons, how they could heal you. They had discernment and spiritual hands and anointing oils, right? They knew how to fix something up. Some people say they were conjure women. They had the power of their words. Now slavery ends. It was abolished. So you have some Madamas that were not slaves, right? And so then you see the movies, the mammy. And so people feel away because of the cultural things, but you see, I know where I come from. And without them, we would not be here. So you got to show some respect to the ancestors and all that they went through. Because people talk about, I am not my ancestors. No, you're not. Half of y'all couldn't even handle half the they did. And that's straight talk for straight understanding. So now you go down south, and I'm not here to debate, because some people say they're not the same, they're different. That may very well be true, because if they're southern, then they weren't from Cuba. So certain things are different. But the way I see it, they all still came from Africa. We got sent to different places. So things changed and they switched up a little bit. But Big Mama is going to be tied more to the church. Not that the Madama wasn't, because you'll see the Madama, some of them with the crucifix. They were in the church too. Just maybe a different denomination. And I don't nitpick. And I know just the way I move and how I am. I know that I got both in my court. And I dare somebody to challenge me otherwise. Oh, how you gonna have a Big Mama in your court, you Puerto Rican? How you know about my ancestry? Because I know what I know. And Spirit been telling me stuff. It happened so long ago, but 5 generations ago. So it was like my father's grandmother's grandmother, like that's a long, long time ago, was born on a plantation in the South. Actually, no. Puerto Rico. But they sent her brother, I was told, to Virginia. That was so long ago that everything is different, right? But I have family 5 generations deep ago that started the lineage in Virginia. So yeah, I got a big mama in my court too, because my bloodline was shipped to Virginia. And so that means that somehow I got Southern roots. It didn't stay, it went that way, but someone there 5 generations ago, we got the same blood. You don't think they know who I am? Hello? I got ancestors from India hollering at me. I don't got no direct Indian descendants. But when you are spiritually elevated and your light is bright, they all come in. And so I'm going to end it on that note. Do your own research. Receive it, don't receive it. I said what I said, and I stand 10 toes down on it. Boop. Boop. Next message. Stay tuned. Alafia. Bendiciones. Namaste.